mainstream album that the underground needed by no other than Two Phone motherfucking Baby Keem. Now, I'll be completely honest up front. I glaze this man. Sue me. I don't give a fuck. But we're going to get into it. I'm going to talk about why this album is so monumental for his career and also what it means to the underground and the mainstream. I'll start with saying that it's already rare enough that an artist produces completely for themselves, let alone do they make something that is undeniably great. And I think with Baby Keem, his last two albums, granted, there's a lot of time in between, but he's shown so much diversification through what he's making. And also, he's able to retain your attention throughout the whole album, which is very, very rare nowadays. You know, even some of my favorite artists, they have songs or, things on the album that maybe I'm like, you know what, whatever. That was cool. I'm over it, right? But with Baby Keem's two albums, every single song I go back to. It doesn't matter. And they all fit a different vibe. That's the best part about it. His intensity, his, soft-spoken songs, his inner conflict, and he's very vulnerable. And that's why I say this album is so crucial for the underground, even though it's mainstream, because he's able to still carry with him that underground kind of thing where he's not locked into this corporate race of trying to be like super marketable and this and that. Like, he's just Baby Keem. He's not trying to be this huge, corporate sellout kind of artist. Who knows? Maybe he gets to that point. I don't know. But at current Baby Keem status, all he cares about is making great art. And I think that's what he did so well with this album, is he was able to capture where he comes from, what he's going through, and what's on his mind and where he wants to go forward. From top to bottom. Starts out with a beautiful monologue about where his life's at and what he's dealing with, into a straight banger of Casino, right? 808s hit you in the face like bow, and it's beautiful. But then you go into songs like I'm Not a Lyricist, and you got songs like Dramatic Girl and all these different vibes, including the last song, which is really vulnerable and sensitive, I'm sure, to himself. No blame. And I think he did such a good job with, you've got this beautiful song, Dramatic Girl, and then the last song is about him not blaming his mom for the stuff that she put him through, and him being like, I just hope you're all right. And I think that's such a beautiful way to end the album. His struggles, his this, his that. He put it all out there for the world to see, where a lot of artists, the bigger they get, the more they want to hide, or they don't want people to know as much. And I think that's what I loved so much about Baby Keem specifically, is ever since he was a little kid, in the car listening to Ludacris, he just wanted to be filled with that musical rush and that creativity, and he really puts it on full display on this album. Is he lets you know who he is. This album expands on everything he talked about in the first album, on top of the stuff he's dealing with now. And of course it took him a while. He's a human. He went through some stuff, and if you don't glaze him like I do, you know what I mean, there's a lot in there. But I watched all the interviews, and you could tell like he's still struggling with it, but he felt like he was in a place where he could actually show these stories in a good manner and display them in the right light. And I think it's really cool to see him evolve too. You've got songs like Circus Circus, where he's playing with his vocals even more, and he's able to stretch his vocals, and his production is on a different level now. Like, he didn't try to remake the Melodic Blue. He didn't try to remake Die For My Bitch. Like, he made Casino, just like he made the Melodic Blue, just like he made Die For My Bitch. Like, these are all albums that he did so differently and so beautifully. Die For My Bitch, banger, but Casino is just on a different level. Like, all 11, 12 songs, like, I didn't feel incomplete listening to it. I didn't feel like, oh, I need more. Like, I felt like he told the story all the way through with no gaps. The plot was secured. And he also did such a good job at showing that, no matter how chaotic your life is, no matter what you got going on, no matter what you're going through, you don't have to let it consume you. His Boo Man documentary was really insightful that, yeah, his cousin's Kendrick, but he still went through some shit. And instead of letting it consume him, he put it toward creativity. I think it's so good in this generation. And not to shade anyone. They could create the art they want. It's an expression of what you've been through. But it's good to have that outlier that's like, yo, I went through this. I've been through this. I may know what you're going through right now, but you don't got to go down that same path. Because I seen a bunch of my homies to do the same thing, unfortunately. I seen a lot of people in my life do that, where they just continue the cycle. And Baby Keem was able to break that, just like his big cousin Kendrick. Like, they were both able to put their energy from their hardship and their trauma and the things they experienced to something beautiful and create a career out of it. And I think that's so amazing in a day and age where we're all kind of lost. We're all kind of going through something, whether it's big, small, medium, who fucking knows? But we're all going through something. And I think it's beautiful to have an album like this in a time like that, because that's how some of the songs make you feel. They make you feel like, damn, things really don't make sense. And the album, very similar to my last review of The Backrooms, the album kind of leaves you on this unresolved note. But I think that's beautiful. And through it all, Baby Keem, he chose a positive route. And he chose to stick to his roots and make the people he loved proud. And I think that's beautiful, man. And to not lose yourself, to create and to enjoy what you do and express the things you go through instead of letting it consume you. It's a beautiful thing. And so I think this album for the underground really showed, just be yourself. You don't got to follow no trend. You don't got to ride no wave. You are the wave. Fuck what they fucking think about you. Do what you want to do.
Very, 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 very locked in on. And it's funny, she would give me like the cliff notes of everything I would do too. So if I would do a performance and like she didn't like how I was moving, she would send me like her favorite performer from the 60s and be like, nah, you got to get up there like that. You got to be like that. I see right there. So you look tired right there. And then she would be like, tell Kendrick that when y'all running around on the stage on Family Ties, to make sure that he don't fall. You could tell she just saw the same little kid on the stage with Family Ties or whatever. I don't care if I sold out however many people, Coachella, whatever. I was that same kid to her. So that's why that relationship, like, it's like pure, very pure.